What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the comments of Jim Ryan talking about the day ones, right? The first-party games going to a subscription service day one, and that, that does not work for PlayStation. It wouldn't work for PlayStation. What it would do to PlayStation, I want to kind of walk around this landmine, that Jim Ryan likes to throw down from time to time. Now, this is not a new statement by any means in terms of the basic plot, right? He has said multiple times, like, this doesn't work for us. This is not something we've ever considered. This is not something that we think would be successful for us long term. Now, he threw in some more stuff this time where he talked about how he doesn't believe a subscription service, like really any subscription service, actually, is kind of what they said, would ever match what you could see from like a Netflix or anything like that. It's just not the same thing. Now, I do think they are very different, right? I mean, like when you think about the entertainment industry with Netflix, HBO, or even you think of like Spotify and stuff like that, can you ever do that with gaming? I don't know if it could ever be the same, but I don't know if I'm willing, and by the way, though, I don't have the numbers, that Jim Ryan has in front of him on his desk, but I don't know if I could make a definitive statement to say, it could never work. I don't know. I don't know that. He does actually say the way the world is changing so quickly at the moment, nothing is forever, so he's not ruling out that, things can change basically in the future. But what he basically said is it's not a road that we're going to go down with this new service. We feel if we were to do that with the games that we make at PlayStation Studios, the level of investment that we need to make in our studios would not be possible. And we think the knock-on effect on the quality of the games that we would make would not be something that gamers want. So, is it directly attacking Game Pass? No, but I think we can all, we're not idiots, right? And this is not, this video is not a console war thing. I could truly care less. I hate the console warriors more than I hate most people on planet Earth, okay? So it's not that at all. But I think we can read in between the lines of what he's basically saying is, hey, we see what Xbox is doing. We get it. It's a good deal. A lot of people like it. A lot of people are doing it. And we just don't think, that's going to last. We don't think it could be profitable. We don't think it could, we could have great games, the games that we have. We don't think we could do that if we did the exact same thing. All of that stuff, right? We'd have to lower the quality of our games because we'd have to invest less money in them. Now, again, here's the thing. If you take out the stupid console war stuff, right? It really is. I actually understand what he's saying, and I do agree. I've said from the beginning, in terms of PlayStation's model, they're not the same. Now, am I saying one of them is better than the other? No, and I've never said that, right? All I'm saying is Xbox or Microsoft is Microsoft. They do them, and Sony is Sony, and they do them. And you don't have to like the other, side's model. You don't have to do it yourself. You do you. And the market will decide. The market will decide who's better. You have your own talent, right? You own that. That's yours, and you have to do what you feel is the best for your situation. So again, when I boil it down, or at least how I view it, I get how it sparks console wars, don't get me wrong there, but I actually don't really disagree with his assessment of his own company. Again, where I see it being a console war thing, where I see really it's just not something that he would maybe even know, or maybe he does, but where he's kind of taking that reach is saying, all right, well, I don't really know if it's going to last. I don't know if, and I would say those are more, well, it depends on how you perceive it, actually. If you don't perceive it as an attack, it's not an attack, and trust me, I don't care. I don't see it as an attack because I don't really care about any of this stuff in the first place, but if you want to perceive it as an attack, right, when you're saying, well, I don't think it's going to last long term, we just don't know, it wouldn't work for us, so maybe it wouldn't work for other people. Obviously, what does that sound like to you? You know what I mean? So you have that. But again, from his own assessment of his own, what he owns, what he has at his disposal, I get that. I've always kind of said that. Sony's not Microsoft, and Microsoft is not Sony. I would say as a casual observer, or as somebody who's trying, I'm on the internet a lot, I try to read up and try to stay in the know on all these companies, all these games, all these developers and publishers. I've never really got the sense that Sony could pull that off, right? To pivot from what Sony is doing now to make themselves a Game Pass, equivalent is literally impossible. There's, it's just no way in hell that that's going to happen. The studio's no, and to be honest with you, I don't, and I've said this before, while I love the deal like Game Pass, right? I have it. I have it. My membership is still ongoing for like another year and a half. I intend to re-up it, right? I'm never going to let that thing go. It's awesome. I love Game Pass, okay? But I have always said I have no idea how they make money from it. In fact, it's been shown in court that they don't make money from it. Now, I think the idea there, right, is they're losing money from it. When they buy these studios, right, like an Activision and stuff, they are using money that is Microsoft's overall money, not necessarily the Xbox division's money, because they don't really have that, income. That's not really theirs, right, because they're not earning that kind of money back. And again, this is not like passing judgment. This is saying just how it is. So why does that work? Well, Microsoft is ginormous. They can do that. They can take massive losses for really they could take it forever, but ideally they want to take those losses immediately, like short term, and then turn it around. That's really what all subscription services hope for, right? Netflix, they all said it in the beginning. We're going to start a subscription, we're going to lose a boatload of money immediately because we don't have this kind of money. We're putting investment in so that in years to come we are filthy rich. And that's the goal, you know what I mean? So the thing is, again, like, that's not knocking it at all. It's saying that's Microsoft's plan. Sony can't do that. So they just can't. You can't just change it mid-flight, you know what I mean? So my stance on this, my stance on Jim Ryan's, statements or opinions or whatever, have been really what I always have said. I actually kind of agree with the assessment of PlayStation. I don't think they could ever do it. I think really what he's kind of saying is we'd have to shut studios down. We'd have to scale back teams. We'd have to fire people, right? Because the amount of money we put into our games and into our studios, we could never do that and then launch it day one on a subscription service. And make no money from people directly going to buy that game. There's no way we could live off of that. And that is true. And you could argue Microsoft can't live on it either, or at least the Xbox division isn't living on it. But again, Microsoft is bigger than that. They can take it, and then they hope, and I do think this will happen, by the way, years in the future, when there are a lot of Game Pass subscribers, which they already are, but when, the number continues to grow, it's on other platforms, which it already is, and it keeps going, right? When that happens, they could easily make that money back, but they have to lose it first. And Sony is not comfortable doing that, and I understand that from Sony's point of view, right? So, that's it. That's really it. Again, to his statements of, well, I don't really see this being a long-term thing, stuff like that. Again, well, that's his opinion. That's his opinion. That's his assessment of it. We'll have to see if that's correct. I do think subscription services are kind of the way of the future. I will say, in terms of the entertainment industry, I think we're still going to have another shift, which probably means gaming will do the same thing eventually as well, where what we're having with entertainment is really, you're having 30 subscription services, which are still more now than what you were paying for cable. And if you remember, the whole point of having a Netflix was to not have cable. So now the fact that you need Netflix, you need Discovery, you need, there's so many of them, I don't even know their names, right? The fact of all of those happening is bad. I don't like that at all. And I think that'll probably not necessarily fix itself, but we're in for another change there in the future. And so gaming may be the same thing, but gaming is less. Gaming has Game Pass, you have EA Play, you have Ubisoft stuff, so it's not as much. So maybe gaming will kind of avoid those issues, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Again, I truly do not care. I have both consoles. I have both subscription services. I play games on both. I play exclusives from both. I truly don't care about the console wars, so please, for the love of God, don't start that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you are all subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow me anywhere else, all of my social media is in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.